I am. I'm Kasim Reed, the mayor of Atlanta.
What advice do you have for mayors of other cities, especially in Europe, especially in Holland? How can you get started?
I really think that you start by embracing the thought leaders in your local community. Everywhere in the U.S. and in the world, there are leaders on smart cities and in this space. And so you start by really calling them into your office and convening them to start the conversation. And I think that that is the best way that you can begin. In terms of what smart cities has brought Atlanta, it's made the city far more efficient, and it's helped us attract the number of new businesses that are literally moving into the city in droves because of our forward-leaning approach on technology applications. Atlanta is one of the leading cities in America on the smart cities effort.
Do you think about international connection between smart cities all over the world? What is your thought about that?
I think that there's a genuine opportunity for smart cities around the world. I'm just trying to find or think of the appropriate vehicle for that collaborative conversation. But I would be open to it.
We hope to invite you in Rotterdam someday.
Thank you.
Yes,
All right. Yes. Hello to everybody in Rotterdam.
My name is Chelsea Collier. I'm the founder of DigiCity, and I'll be moderating the panel today. This is such a unique opportunity to bring together really the market leaders in private sector, public sector, and nonprofit to talk about smart cities and wireless infrastructure innovation.
It's good to be at South by. Thank you, Ken. The bottom line in my mind really is that cities are ascendant, and cities are where hope meets the street. And so while we have all of these significant advances in technology, they're coming at a time where people all over the world are choosing to make their lives and bring and build their dreams into cities. But they're coming into a structure that is actually very old and does things in very old and traditional ways. So you have high touch and high sensitivity customers coming into something that has done things the same for a very long time. So you got people coming in who expect change at the speed of iPhones when they're dealing with a workforce that may have been doing things the same way for 10, 20, 30 years. And so I think it's why it's such an exciting time right now, because what we're all going to have to figure out is how to embrace all of this talent and interest in cities, which are driving US GDP and global GDP, and use technology to ensure that cities are a place for everyone. And technology can be used to make the cost structure for cities more efficient and more affordable, so that success doesn't mean that everybody's got to leave unless you are wealthy. So I view smart cities and the use of technology and developing a technology corridor the way that we have in the city of Atlanta as something that is essential to keeping Atlanta as one of the most important cities in the country. So on the North Avenue corridor that we have sits the headquarters for the Coca-Cola Company, Georgia Tech, one of the leading engineering schools in the world, Emory University's Proton Center, and a commercial market called Pont City Market, all on North Avenue, all in the exact same corridor. It will be the most connected corridor in this Southeast. We will have testing for SDVs and autonomous vehicles. We will use the technology and the data that's gathered at that corridor to impact the way that we use our lighting, the way that we use our high-speed Wi-Fi capabilities. All of these things we will be working on in the North Avenue corridor in partnership with Georgia Tech and all of the partners, including Emory University, Georgia Tech, Georgia State, and the entire university framework in the metro. But I think it's really important that we keep everybody focused on what is the goal here. And the goal here is to make sure that the cost associated with cities doesn't overwhelm the people who have been there the whole time, and that cities in the future are going to be at their very best when they are a city for everyone. In the city of Atlanta right now, we really are having growth across the board. In the last 30 months, we've had 17 regional or U.S. headquarters locate in the city of Atlanta. Job growth up 35,000 jobs. Population growth up. Residential construction permits in the city alone are doubling the residential construction permits of our surrounding counties. And so it seems in my mind that the decision has been made and people want to come into cities. So it's going to take a partnership between the traditional city and private sector businesses to embrace all of this. And so we're going to need you shoulder to shoulder with us as partners. And the last comment I want to make is this. If you don't want to spend the rest of your life trying to change the world, you probably want to be working with a city. Because if you have an innovation or a new technology that you want to bring to scale, it takes my support and the support of 8 members of the Atlanta City Council to execute your idea. So a startup company like Rubicon in the city of Atlanta that has a technology that allows you to follow and improve your waste stream and reduce waste and CO2 emissions, got a pilot agreed to, signed up, and launched in less than 6 months. Try that with the federal government. And so without bashing our federal partners, I think this is going to be happening all across the United States of America. And if you're impacting your major American cities, you're impacting 75% of GDP and 75% of population. Thank you. There was a reference made by Michelle to cameras. We now have 7,800 cameras in the city of Atlanta, moving towards 11,000 cameras. That creates an obligation through our video integration center to execute and use that technology so it's a force multiplier, and it prevents us from having to hire more and more police officers, which is a perpetual cost. And so I think that when we look at our conference today, from where I sit, now in almost every important meeting, whether it's a meeting about the Atlanta Housing Authority and making broadband available to residents in the Atlanta Housing Authority, whether it's about making technology available to students in the Atlanta public school system, when you look at all of these issues, there is a component that is technology related. The use of our traffic lights, which doesn't sound like a very big deal, but during the day, the population of the city of Atlanta doubles. So if we want to keep people moving into Atlanta, we've got to get you out of the city efficiently. And so the reason that we're so excited about it is there is a passion to problem solving, but what you have to do in cities right now is embrace it and be a strong partner. Because the one thing that I have learned is if people believe that their ideas are going to sit on a shelf, they will stop bringing their ideas. But when they see their ideas get implemented and get a shot, it opens the door for more and more innovation. And I think all of that has led us to where we are right now. So in 7 years, we've gone to a city with a credit rating that was almost junk status to AA+ by Standard & Poor's, Moody's, and Fitch. In 7 years, we're now a city with the 3rd largest concentration of Fortune 500 businesses. We're now in the top 8 cities in America for venture capital investment. And I think that these decisions are being made right now because of the way that we have embraced innovation and because we've been a strong partner. So when AT&T was making a decision about who to partner with on smart cities, they selected Atlanta, Chicago, and the city of Dallas. The last point I have to make on this question really is that we want to be out front and be at conferences like South by because we understand that this technology needs to be deployed rapidly, but also capably. And Atlanta is accessible. It's one thing to show up in somebody's office and say, I'm doing this in New York, I'm doing this in LA, I'm doing this in San Francisco. But when you show up in the mayor of Austin's office, or in the mayor of Nashville's office, or in the mayor of Charlotte's office, or in the mayor of Birmingham's office, and say we're doing it in Atlanta, it makes these technologies that are all going to make us better, more accessible than it sounding like something far, far away. I want folks to say if they're doing it in Atlanta, I can do it.
That's right.
But that makes the country better. And it makes folks in rural areas better. It makes folks in the suburbs better. And at the end of the day, I think that this is all going to be about making sure that cities are places of prosperity
And if all of the costs associated to everything we do go up and up and up, then you all know what's going to happen. Folks are going to get pushed out. So that's why I believe that this initiative and this partnership with Ignite, with the National Science Foundation, is so important. I think confidence in the team that built the app. One of the lessons you have to learn in your space, anytime you're talking to an elected official, you should open the meeting by telling them, what I'm about to tell you isn't going to get you beat. Because most people that have run for office the same way you all have been interested in technology or your careers have wanted to do it for a long time. And so I think that what people in my job are listening for is something that will help people at scale with a partner that's the right partner that you believe in. And so this comment about people, I think, really is applicable, because once you show me the terrific application or technology, I've got to believe that you're going to go through it with me when my staff doesn't know how to use it, after I've paid you. Just telling you. So the real issue that people in my space have is our staffs don't live in the world that you live in. And, you know, Margaret Thatcher has this famous saying that you might have to fight the battle more than twice to win it. And I think that that's really true in cities. We have excellent technology and applications, but the 9,000 people that you're getting ready to try to use it don't have the feeling about it that you do. And I've got to have a partner like you that's going to know that, and that when it happens, it's not going to let my call go to voicemail, but it's going to get right in there with me. So we look at the technology, obviously, but it's really belief in the folks and the team that we're going to get through this together.